All right, everybody, welcome to an emergency edition of the Pattison Report podcast. I'm Brandon. That's Ryan. And Eagle season is over. I would probably say at least a week earlier than even some of the most pessimistic fans would have expected, but definitely far shorter than what the goal and the expectation has kind of become. And we're going to get into, why it happened, how it happened, where the blame should go, or how many different places. But I think my first question, I'm curious, because Ryan and I really haven't talked about this other than like some live texting during the game. Like, when did you know? Because it wasn't for anybody, for any Eagle fan, it wasn't when that last touchdown was scored. Like, you got a feeling watching this team and seeing the version of the Eagles that we got, where every fan knew at some point during the game, oh, I've seen this movie before and I know how it ends. So when in that game did you know?
I mean, 100% sure I knew at halftime at 13-10. I knew it was over. The offense wasn't doing enough. You saw Jalen's look. I mean, the last touchdown drive went from 100 to 150%. You knew they weren't scoring those points.
No.
But I'd say at halftime is when I knew. I'm like, yep, well, it's been a good season.
Yeah, I'm in keeping with our theme of the show. I'm forever the slightly more optimistic one. So for me, it was, I think I saw two drives in the third quarter. And that's when I had seen this offense before, this game plan before. And it had that weird feeling in my head. And it's funny you bring up 13-10. It almost felt as though Nick and Kevin Patullo felt like they had enough. Like they started coaching that second half as if 13-10 was going to be enough. And that's when I knew. When I started seeing the clock management style, with the run on first, run on second, Hail Mary throw on third, I was like, oh my God, they're doing this is 4-minute offense, and we are halfway through the third quarter. They're going to try to, and I know I've seen the clips of Nick talking in the huddle and talking in team meetings about, look, all we got to do is keep the ball. If we win the turnover battle, we're going to win, and he truly believes that deep down inside him somewhere. And you can see when he shifts into that mode, when he has a lead and he's terrified to lose it, and he just takes all risk out of the game plan. That is exactly what I knew.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone's throwing stuff at me here. I don't know what's going on.
I saw something enter the screen in the back.
Someone's getting thrown at me, so I gotta throw that away. But anyway, so what was the question again? I was getting distracted.
Well, we were talking about kind of when you realized which version of the Eagles we were getting Sunday night.
And I said it was at halftime, yeah.
Yeah. So then that brings us to another question. I mean, obviously Vic Fangio, I thought, called a great game. He got jumped on that first possession. It happens to everybody. Kyle Shanahan's a hell of an offensive mind. But then Vic settled in a huge way, and as usual, the defense gave us time to hopefully figure out the offense. Like you and I just said, 13-10 at half, and it stayed that way into the third. So I mean, if you're holding, I don't know if at that point Kittle might have just gone down or hadn't gone down yet, but you're holding a very good 49ers team to 10 points in the half. Your defense is doing their job. You turn them over twice. You can't ask Vic and the defense to do a whole lot more than they did. So you look at the other two guys, and it's Nick and it's Kevin Patullo, and you want them to answer for what just happened. And I didn't like either of their answers even a little bit. Nick's too good of a head coach, too tenured of a head coach for his official answer to be, well, I don't know, but we're sure going to work our ass off until we find out. I don't need an effort guy. I need somebody who knows what went wrong and can fix it. So that didn't make me feel good. And then nobody says more with less substance than Kevin Patullo. Like it's this giant long word salad that we've gotten every week for 17 weeks, and at no point do I walk away from that feeling like he knows what went wrong and he knows how to fix it. And so now, to your point, like every week we have two guys, one running the team, one running the offense, who don't know where we went wrong, and they don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, it's funny with all these tweets coming out that, oh, now they're calling out people and now stuff's going on. It's like, we knew this all for weeks. We knew this all since like week 2.
Yeah. If you've been watching this team, you knew early that Kevin Patullo was in over his head.
Yeah, it's so clear. I mean, he called 4 verts, 4 times in the last possession?
Yeah, we ran 48 hitch routes. 48 hitch routes. That's insane. 26% of every route concept run yesterday was a hitch route.
Yep. That's how bad the offensive scheme was. I mean, I'm not sure he didn't have like a phone in his play sheet, like behind his play sheet, and he was just playing Madden Mobile there, and like he had the plays up, and he's like, that one sounds nice. Let's do that.
Yeah, probably getting smoked by a couple of 12-year-olds in that too. Like, he wasn't even winning his video game. I mean, that with the season on the line, he goes 4 verts. I can't wrap my head around how stupid that is.
I mean, with my season on the line, I'm going 4 verts, but I'm going in Madden. And come on, man, you got to call something a little bit more creative than that. It's the lack of creativity. I know why AJ Brown.
It was into cover 4. Everyone's back.
Yeah, it was the most obvious cover 4 you've ever seen in your life.
And he just ran right into it.
The situation, the way they lined up, everything was like, okay, this is cover 4. Let's call a play that can't beat that.
Yeah, run something over the middle. Run something shallow. You have all these playmakers.
He doesn't know the middle portion of the field exists.
No. I mean, Dallas Goedert's been red hot for you. Look for him over the middle. A.J. Brown at this point had probably already quit, but you still got Smitty. Jahan Dotson is behind Smitty, probably the silkiest route runner we have on the team. Like, I don't know. It's insane. And then have you seen the clip where Jalen and Tanner McKee find out the play call, and they both kind of look at each other like, "What the fuck?"
They're like, "Yeah, this is the season." It's
it's
absolutely unbelievable. And I know we're gonna start pointing the blame. We'll have all off season to point the blame, but
they got to point it quick.
I can't. You want to throw the blame on the offense. You want to throw the blame on the coaching staff, rightly so. But we're going to have this talk about Nick Sirianni, and that's why I saw a tweet. I forget who it was from. Maybe that's why it's taken the Kevin Patullo tweet a little too long. Maybe they're deciding on Nick as well.
I think we've talked about this offline. I think it's a little bit of – I think it's a hardball situation in Baltimore. I don't think that his job was gone when they lost that last game. I mean, he's been so good for so long. He has plenty of goodwill built up. What I think cost him was his vision. And, the reports have come out and said that he didn't see, in his opinion, any need to make any staff changes, and he was loyal to Jeff Monken. I think in that case, Steve Bisciotti said, okay, well, his judgment is clearly clouded. He's more loyal to his buddy than he is to this team. He can't keep leading it. And he's correct. What I think Jeffrey Lurie is pondering is the same thing. Is Nick – if Nick comes into his office whenever this end-of-season meeting happens and doesn't suggest any changes on the coaching staff, I think Jeffrey Lurie is going to realize the situation he has and, okay, well, now my head coach's judgment is clouded. He's more loyal to his buddy than he is this team. I need to make a move. So I think that's kind of where we're at. I think Nick's job is here if he wants it. I think if Nick pitches the idea of bringing Kevin along with him, that might change Lurie's mind.
Yeah, I love, it's like the year-end yearbooks you get in high school, where it's like this big long paragraph about Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo. They're having this long meeting, and then the Victor just like, have a great summer. We'll see you next year,
Yeah, I did my job. Y'all enjoy summer school. I'm going to go to the pool.
It's Philly season. Like,
Yeah, like he's got shit to do. He did his job all year. I mean, that's your problem.
he's probably grinding prospect tape as we speak right now.
See, that's the funny thing with Vic. You're probably 100% right, but he also kind of has this feel about him where he does kind of give me the impression that he's somebody who works his 9 months and then just goes, you know what, Howie's got it. I got season tickets. Howie's just give me some guys. I'll whip them into shape. I don't have time for this.
Seeing Clearwater, like,
yeah, like I think Vic's on vacation, and he deserved it. That is somebody who will coach whoever you put in front of him. But getting back to our less successful coaches, because we don't need to spend any time on Vic Fangio. He can do no wrong in my eyes. They do have to make a decision sooner than later on Patullo, because every other team who didn't make the playoffs is already in the middle of interviews, and some of these offensive minds are going to come off the board. Obviously, they're all going to try to get head coaching gigs first, but I mean, there's a lot of offensive talent on the coaching circuit right now, and I mean, if the Eagles drag their feet on the obvious, then we're going to miss out on the A-tier options.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of scared of, missing out on those options. I mean, I don't see why people want Harbaugh. I don't want Harbaugh at all. Harbaugh is just an older Sirianni.
Yeah, I mean, I think more likely than not, Nick's coaching this team next year. I'm most concerned about there's some really good offensive minds floating around who could probably use a year or two running an offense to kind of build their brand back up.
Stealing Harbaugh's coordinator, Todd Monken, might be at the height of that. He might not get a head coaching gig elsewhere. He might be the closest to Vic we're going to get on the offensive side of the ball.
Monken?
Yeah.
He's the reason Harbaugh just got fired.
I know, but he's the closest thing we're going to get if you don't want someone that's going to leave and then you're going to internally hire again and get stuck into this situation. It's really complex because they do the whole running back rotation thing, which is something we argued Philly should do more of.
See, I had my eye on Cliff Kingsbury.
I like Cliff. Cliff would probably be my number one option, but I'm just saying Todd Monken is the closest you're going to get to a Fangio type, where if he leaves, he's either retired or getting fired.
Yeah, I mean, you're right in the sense that he probably doesn't have ideas of a head coaching gig. I just can't sell it on myself because he just got the most successful coach in the history of the Baltimore Ravens fired for being so inept.
To be fair, Harbaugh was inept too. So, like,
he might have been inept. He was consistently a winner. How he got there, whatever. You could argue maybe he needed more. Should have won more Super Bowls. The dude was like 70 games over 500 across 18 seasons. He was consistently good.
Look, if we're doing realistic candidates, the top of my list is Cliff Kingsbury. I agree with you. If we're doing dream candidates, it's Mike McDaniel.
Oh yeah, I mean
he's gonna get a head coaching gig though, if he wants it.
I think that's an interesting one though. I think he's someone else who could benefit from a little bit of like image rehab, but it'd be quick. He's going to come in. I think he'll do a year as an OC. Well, he's going to come in and turn someone's offense around and go right back to head coaching, which I'm with you. I don't think that's necessarily what we need. I'm not expecting, even with Cliff Kingsbury, I'm not expecting him to never leave, but I think for him it's going to take 2 or 3 years before people start giving him serious head coaching looks again because of how horribly it went the first time.
That's fair. It's a tough tough line to toe is what I'm trying to say.
And then you also got less obvious options out there. I mean,
if this would have happened last year, just throw every cent you have at Ben Johnson. Like,
yeah, you missed that one by a year. I'm trying to think who else. No one's going to go OC to OC, I don't think.
There's a couple of passing game coordinators that interest me out there, but
what about Josh McCown? How's he?
He's in Minnesota, right? Yeah, that's not going well.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot he's on the hook
Yeah,
for JJ McCarthy.
we're in the middle of a disaster in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm looking at quarterbacks coaches who might be
I
worth
mean,
their
Davis Webb,
salt.
he's got the most out of Bo Nix in Denver.
Yeah, that's something. That's something.
Dable's out there. We haven't mentioned Dable yet.
That would be another great one. Again, he's a quick rehab project. I mean, I think he could, if he turns an offense around, I think he might be a 1 year in and out, but he'd be a great addition. I used to think he was a better culture builder than he is, but I mean, that Giants team was so toxic with him there. I don't know.
I mean, I like all these options, but it's so tough that you need 2 A+ tier coordinators to make up for your head coach.
Well, and that's something that's been floated around a lot. And even while I'm staunchly on the keep Nick Sirianni train, because look, I mean, this is a tough place to play. I get it. I think it would be asinine to fire your head coach a year after you win the Super Bowl. I mean, that is a standard that is impossible to maintain. And I think it hurts hiring down the stretch because you have absolutely zero job security here if you set that precedent.
See, I saw the counter argument to this, and it's
Okay.
everyone in the league know Nick Sirianni's a bottom 5 head coach. That's so you're setting the precedent that the window's shorter, but if you're not great and carried by your coordinators in your roster.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the gamble that you take is us thinking that we know that we're certain enough that Nick is not a good head coach and he's been propped up, which there is evidence for. The risk you run is that he goes somewhere else and wins, and then we have egg on our face.
Look, what are the odds he's going to get a head coaching interview this offseason if they fire him right now?
Extremely high, Nick.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to get a job this off. I think he'd be back to maybe an offensive coordinator. But look, I saw a tweet as well. I doom scrolled a lot after this loss, of course. Mm. I've never seen Nick Sirianni talk about X's and O's. I've never seen it. Maybe I'm missing something, but
yeah, I've never seen him do it either.
Never seen it. Can you do it? I don't know. But it's really tough that
I mean, we can disagree about whether or not to fire him. I mean, I think it is devoid from reality to think that in a world where Mike McDaniel, who's had no success in Miami, is getting head coaching interviews, that Nick Sirianni, who's been to 2 Super Bowls in his 6 years at the helm, 5 playoff appearances, 2 Super Bowls, 1 win, wouldn't even get an interview. I mean, I think that's beyond the realm. We're trying to exist in reality. There's no way that's reality.
But here's the thing. Those rosters, Stefanski as well, those guys were set up for failure. Like, the defense, the GM in Miami, it was Chris Grier, I believe, did not help out Mike McDaniel at all. And to take Mike McDaniel, maybe if Mike McDaniel had some sane personnel, obviously, drafting Devon Achane, all those guys, kind of fit in his scheme. If you let Howie handle that, and you just take away these guys' personnel decisions as well, I mean,
they hate Mike McDaniel in Miami.
I know.
They couldn't wait for him
hated
to leave.
Vic, but they could put it aside.
I don't even mean the team. The fans hated him. I mean, they couldn't wait for him to get fired. It's like us waiting for Kevin
We don't like Nick
Patullo to get
Sirianni.
fired.
I mean,
you hate Nick Sirianni. I happen
no,
to like the
no
fact
fan
that
base
routinely
is
in
clamoring
Super
for
Bowls.
Nick Sirianni. I will stand on that. There's fan bases clamoring right now for Kevin Stefanski, Mike McDaniel, John Harbaugh, even though I don't agree with John Harbaugh. I think the era of the CEO head coach is coming to an end. I think you can't win with these guys anymore. I think you need an elite play caller on offense. Look at what happened to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They lose Liam Cohen. They regress massively. And I know Jacksonville lost that tough one because they got away from the run this weekend. But look at what William Cohen did in his first year. 13 wins. Elite play caller. you need one of these guys, and I don't think they're out there per se, but it's one of those things where you have to try to find the next one and develop them in your system, and then promote them to the head coach.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong with. I don't think your theory is wrong. I do just think
I need to write a long article on this because I
think you're too comfortable with this era that we're currently in and just take for granted how good the Eagles are, and to blow it up after 1 year. I mean, of losing in a wild card round to go find what else might be out there. It just worries me. I mean, if Nick comes back and lays an egg next year, I'm with you. I'm in. Then we fire him. And I don't think you should be bad for long. But if you're 1 year removed from winning one of the 2 Super Bowls in the history of this franchise, that has to buy you more than one mediocre season. I'm not even going to call this a bad year. They won the division.
Yeah, I mean, the division's weak, though. Again,
remember how
this is mystery boat versus this mystery box versus the boat and Family Guy.
Yes, but I remember how miserably bad we were. I know you do too. You were as good of a fan, not better than I am. But I think back to the end of Andy Reid. I think back to Chip Kelly, like how long we were bad. Ooh. And then now we're this team where, I mean, we're so good that you and I are sitting here the day after we lose a playoff game, the year after winning a Super Bowl, debating whether we should fire the coach. That is how different the standard has become now.
Yeah, that's how big the standard has become. It's just, I don't know. It's you gotta fire him. That's what I think. But I don't know.
We'll see. We'll never agree on that one. But we have another show on Thursday. We can both, do some. You can write that article you were talking about. We can hash it out.
I gotta find something to write. Yeah, but I get what you're saying. You get what I'm saying. It's difficult. We'll probably talk about more of the offseason plan on Thursday. Free agents. Jalen Phillips is a free agent. Braden Mann's a free agent.
Pay him.
Yeah, Reed Blankenship's a free agent. So we'll probably do some version of stay or go.
Yeah.
On Thursday. Because, there's a lot. And then we'll get into offseason, what this team needs. Dallas Goedert as well, I didn't mention. That's gonna be he looked a little emotional in his locker yesterday. I didn't like that because he is a red zone weapon.
The thing I love about Howie is he admits his mistakes and he learns from his mistakes. I have to think he's such a great football mind. He has to be looking around and seeing how much tread Zach Ertz still had on the tires when we put him out the pasture, and think he doesn't make the same mistake twice. I don't think he will devalue Dallas Goedert the way he did Zach Ertz, because he was wrong. I mean, Zach Ertz had a lot left in the tank when we watched him walk out the door.
Yeah, so we'll do some version of that on Thursday. We'll look ahead to the future, and this was more of an emergency. We need to fire Kevin Patullo. What's going to happen with the coaching staff, and looking at some prospective candidates. But I think we're going to talk more about the players on Thursday. Today was about the coaches.
We'll try to solve the Eagles' problems on the next episode. This was just mostly driven by raw emotion. But all right, we will see everybody Thursday. In the meantime, I'm Brandon. That's Ryan. This is the Passing Report. Go Birds.